Hello, fellow soul seekers. It's Christina. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my experience today. I am, I woke up this morning, and for those of you that are not aware, I have recently moved. I've been in my place for a little over a month now. And the move was to an amazing and wonderful location that I'm most grateful to be at. And when I moved in, shortly after I moved in, unfortunately, there was an issue with the hot water heater. And over a little bit of time of trying to figure it out, it was decided and determined that a new water heater needed to be put in. And so recently that was done. And for about a week now, there have not been any issues. But the water heater that I have is located outside. And with the weather, it's common that the pilot light will go out. And so I, I thought to myself, okay, I know how to do this. I'm going to go out. I'm going to relight the pilot light. I went out, and 25 minutes later, I was in a complete panic because I could not figure it out and it wasn't working. And immediately, I went into old, familiar, negative self-talk. And I decided that if there's going to be problem after problem, that the wonderful people that are renting to me are not going to want to deal with this, and that they are doing me a favor, and I'm going to just end up being an issue. And before you know it, I had myself in a tailspin about that they're not going to be happy that I'm here, and all of this kind of craziness, really over the top. But as a part of my journey, I think that negative self-talk and that little fearful inner child that needs to be cared for pops up. And I have an amazing mom who is a wonderful teacher and guide for healing. And so I did call her and speak with her, and she calmed me down a little bit, and said that I'm simply coming from my inner child, and that I need to take a few deep breaths and calm down and let that inner child know that everything's going to be okay. And maybe, she suggested maybe you could look it up on YouTube and see. So here I am, and I'm breathing and I'm calming down. And I came inside and I got myself a towel, and I got myself a chair so that I could lay down on the ground if I needed to and sit there in front of the water heater. And I pulled out YouTube and I looked up the specific brand of hot water heater. And sure enough, there was a woman that had so bravely put on a video of herself trying to start her water heater the same kind as mine for the first time. And it was such a sweet video. She was fumbling with her phone and trying to figure out how to push the buttons and hold the button and hold the phone at the same time. And you know what? In her video, she broke a nail, all this kind of stuff, but she got her water heater started. And once I watched how she did it, I realized that there was a step I wasn't doing. And sure enough, I went through the process again, and I followed each step the way that she did. And lo and behold, I got the water heater on, and I got the hot water going, and issue resolved and crisis averted. And, it's just amazing how quickly we can tailspin into that old familiar self-talk, the inner tyrant that we call that ego personality, that can quickly convince you of an illusion that's not true. So With that, I was so proud of myself and completely elated and so excited that I had gotten it done. And, it all happened before 10 a.m. this morning. And that made me very happy because I was looking very forward to hopping online live so that I could listen to Michael Mirdad live this morning as he spoke from the Unity in Sedona. And forgive me, they have changed their name to the Global Christ Consciousness. I'm going to get that wrong, but anyways, he's an amazing speaker, has written several books, and I found him randomly. A friend sent me a video of his speaking on a topic that I was interested in, and I didn't even know until recently that he was actually the gentleman that speaks at the Unity in Sedona, and I'm super excited because I'm so close. I'm gonna very soon be taking a trip up there to listen to him in person live. But in the meantime, I sign on and get his weekly talks. And lo and behold, this morning he is talking about trust, and he's talking about having faith, and he's talking about trusting in the divine self and in the divine in others. And the way he put it was to know the truth, but to respect the illusion. And it's so great how everything just always comes full circle in my life and in what I am needing to hear. And it's funny because my mom said this to me earlier in the week, and then he was absolutely talking about, here we ask, I have been praying for, I shared with you guys in an earlier video about my prayers for reaching that authentic ascension. And I'll tell you what, true that when you were reaching for those things, anything for you that comes up that's not in alignment with that, you're going to get to see. And it's so great because when he was talking about knowing the truth and respecting the illusion, I just love how each teaching that I'm gathering has tidbits that come together and match each other. And the word that came to me was expectation, because Ingrid Asalova, my spiritual coach that does the SOS meetings on Wednesday, talks a lot about that, a lot about the expectations that we have of people, maybe because of the labels that we place on them, whether the title is mother or father or child or partner or friend, and all of that fun stuff. And I thought about that. I thought about that word in conjunction with some of the things that he spoke about. And he also talked about that there's two different kinds of trust, right? There's the trust of us as our human selves, and then there is the trust in the divine. And in Ingrid's teaching, she really diverts from the word trust altogether. She kind of tends to go towards faith instead of trust. And I think that would be the same definition then when he says trust in human trust or divine trust. Her definition of that would be trust or faith. And so it was great because as he was talking, I could really hear that inner exchange of words. How much you live a life of trust. And it's great because he really spoke a lot about making sure that you're setting solid boundaries for yourself. Just because you are trusting in the divine, you're not out there just giving away trust frivolously, and setting up your boundaries so that you know about that. And it was cool because, again, reverting back to her teachings, I was hearing how she always says that you've got to set your policies and procedures in place for yourself, and your plan A and plan B and plan C and plan D, and understanding the agreements that you're getting involved with other people. I don't know. I've had, of course, another wonderful day of inner insight and outer confirmation of that in everything that I've heard. And you know, again, in all of the different teachings that I'm learning, the message comes across that you know, it doesn't come when things on the outside change, right? So you can't just, oh, I'll put more trust in others when others behave more trusting, or you know, I'll make changes when the outer world changes, then I'll change. And this came through very much in his message this morning, and that is absolutely. Later on, I listened to Abraham Hicks, and of course, it was the same exact things: knowing what you're feeling, allowing that feeling to guide you, and trusting in that feeling. He talked a lot about, you know, not needing to explain or get into talk mode about what you experience, but just to acknowledge the experience and feel it. And you know, you have to have faith in that, divine trust in that, and know that for yourself, regardless of anything else outside of you. And when you are connected to that, then the outer will also reflect that for you. I just, with his meditation, it was amazing because it came back around full circle for me with all of these teachings. And during the meditation, there was a part where, you know, the meditation was about possibly taking a look at a relationship with someone where it's difficult to maybe see that soul self or divine in them. And you know, it's funny because he very much spoke about how the prayer and the spoken word is powerful for everything around you, and that the prayers do matter for yourself and for others, and to hold those people that maybe you didn't have the best interactions with, hold them in that divine truth, the divine truth of knowing that who they are and who you are in the divine is the truth, not the illusion of the experiences that you had with them or that you may have gone through with them, and giving thanks for whatever it is that you gained from that experience, but also being able to see them from that higher state and knowing the truth above the ego illusion. And it was very beautiful. I was able to do that with actually several people in my life during the meditation. But what was very, very cool was, I don't think I've spoken about soul retrieval, or if you are familiar with that concept. You know, there's the concept that well, there's that when you have hurts, or when you have time periods in your life where you've had a great hurt, that sometimes you will leave a piece of you with that hurt. And I had a piece of me come home during that meditation. I could see her clearly, about maybe 5 to 7 years old. And it came right back around to what happened in that experience, and in pulling that piece of myself in and loving that piece of myself, and knowing that we were gonna take care of us. And it was just incredible to have that connection, and to have all of the wonderful teachings just come right around full circle in such a crazy, lovely couple of hours in the first part of the day. That, oh my God, set the tone for just such amazing feeling. The rest of the afternoon, I have felt so open and aligned, and it's all so good. Uh, so it's cool because it goes right back to, right, knowing that I actually don't have to define or explain or convince that experience for anyone else. And the truth of that wasn't here for me. And that, my friends, is, I believe, the definition of what he was talking about with divine trust, or what Ingrid speaks about with faith in the divine. And oh, what a beautiful day. Anyways, this is quite a journey we are on, and every moment is another opportunity to deepen that connection. And I just really love what he said about knowing the truth but respecting the illusion. And I kind of am pulling that in as kind of a mantra for me to be out in the world a little bit, right? Because that, I want to be out in the world, I don't want to be disconnected from that, because that is a part of this whole thing that we are in right now. uh Anyways, happy Sunday, and thank you for listening, and I look forward to the next time.